Hi, this is John Harcher, and welcome to episode 25 of Valleys of Numenor. We're up to episode 5 of Foundation, and say, what's been going on with one of our main characters that we haven't seen in 3 episodes? Time we found out. Foundation episode 5. Upon further review, upon awakening. Now, wasn't there a character named Gaal on this show? There was, and we finally catch up with her after a flashback. On our home planet of Synax, the lead religion doesn't have much use for old-fashioned book learning. One night, Gaal and some of the seers head out to the university boat to find one of the old professors there looking through books. She tries to get him to leave, but he gets her thinking about what's inside one of the books he has. They catch him, and the next morning they tie some rocks to him and his books and let him sink into the sea. But that night, Gaal goes down underwater and retrieves the book he showed to her. Dornick receives a notification from Harry Seldon that she has been invited to come to Trantor. She tells her parents about it, and they're not thrilled at all. She's even removed the jewels they jam into their faces to signify allegiance, showing that she's kind of leaving all that behind. So Gaal finds a way to send a signal to Trantor to let them know she's coming. A ship comes down and lands, and she leaves alone. Then we finally see what happened to her in the escape pod. It lands on a ship, and the pod opens, allowing her to breathe. She still has Harry's blood on her and the knife that killed him. She tries to use it to open the door and screams at her futility. Then suddenly a magnet starts and causes the door to open. She makes her way to the control room and finds out she's the only one on the ship. She tries to send a signal to the ship she was on, but it was decommissioned years ago. She then asks how long she was asleep. The ship replies, 34 years and 223 days. Let's call it 35 years. Back on Terminus, the Anacreons are taking their sweet time setting up their big weapon, including a cloaking device. They fire at the fence, but nothing gets through. Just then, an Imperial ship enters the atmosphere and demands to see a Grand Huntress. Hardin says they should wait and see what they wanted to draw them there, but Lewis is willing to get her and takes her out into the open. Salvor then figures out that Farah will go to the tower and take the fence down. Back in space, Gaal is trying to get the computer to let her do something, anything, little Todd Rundgren reference there, but can't get permission. She does a search and finds the ship did reach Terminus. Then she looks into Seldon's death. She finds a video with a younger Lewis describing what happened and showing Harry's body was also shot into space. She then looks to see what happened to Raish. He admits what he did and was also blown out of space, this time without an escape pod. Seems to be a pattern here. Salvor gets to the brig and finds it empty, so she races to the tower. In there, Farah is screaming in pain. By the time they figure out why, it's too late as she pulls her fake eye out and they see it's a bomb. But it's not a giant explosion, but an EMP blast that shuts the power to the fence down. Out in space, Gaal is in a shower when suddenly the ship slows down, messing up the gravity. Still unable to get authorized access, she asks to see a star chart and tries to figure out things from there. She almost gets it, but needs to see actual space to know for sure, as the ship is hiding things from her view. With the fence down, the Anacreons attack, and the villagers do their best Sir Robin imitation and run away. The Imperial ship prepares to land right as the Anacreons aim their weapon right at them. Farah took Salvor's mother as a hostage. Hardin rescues her and beats Farah down before her mom gets captured again. On the ship, Gaal prepares to do her reverse Dave Bowman impersonation, but at least she has a helmet. She opens the pod bay doors and holds onto the ship and looks out into space, but can't find what she's looking for, so she floats away from it. Shouldn't she check to see if the suit had any jets to get her back? She finally finds the ship's destination, a Dark Star. Insert the Grateful Dead or CSN reference of your choice here. On the planet, The Imperial ship prepares for landing, blissfully unaware that they've been targeted. Farah shows Salvor her burning town and says that they are not innocent because Harry Seldon's prediction made the Emperor afraid, so they lashed out. Hadn't thought of it that way. Interesting point. The Anacreons fire their weapon. The Imperial ship crashes down to the ground and is completely destroyed. It was a circle. It was kind of a ring shape, but it didn't do that thing from Prometheus, so the townfolk didn't have to do a Charlize Theron not running to the side to avoid it. Hardin is then knocked out after they decide not to kill her. Those decisions always work out well for the bad guys, don't they? Gaal has figured out the ship is destined for Harry Seldon's homeworld of Helicon. History has written that she was involved in his murder, so she realizes she may not be very welcome there. She tries to get the ship to change direction, but it won't respond. Suddenly, she sees pools of blood on the floor, then they disappear. When she follows them to the dock, she sees Harry bleeding out on the floor, or at least a hologram of him. So we're halfway through the first season. The main themes have been laid out, and all empires must fall. Masses are predictable, but individuals are not. There are some changes that have worked, but others haven't. We'll deal with them all when the season's over, but I think we can sum it up with Gaal, yes, Salvor, no. Next time, it's back to our previously scheduled subject, Tarzan of the movies and TV and comics and radio and any other mass media that I can think of. Please hit the subscribe button if you like what you're hearing. I'm John Hartrock. Thanks for listening.